Hello, my name is Mark Goodacre, and I'm sitting at Exeter College, Oxford, and thinking about gospel origins. One of the things that I've become fascinated about as the years have gone on is the way that New Testament scholars appeal to oral tradition. Oral tradition is like that category that they just love to explain everything. One of the things that they seldom consider is that on the occasions that the gospel writers themselves talk about oral tradition, they can be quite negative about it. So there's two really interesting cases of this in the Gospels. In Matthew's Gospel, we hear about a plot to put about a story that the disciples have stolen Jesus' body. This is a made up story, according to Matthew. It's a story that is used by enemies of Jesus to explain why the disciples were saying that Jesus was raised from the dead. Actually, the disciples stole the body. Matthew explicitly says this story is still told amongst Judeans to this day, and Matthew's making clear that this is a false story. Matthew doesn't like oral tradition anything like as much as he likes written tradition. What's his favorite word? He loves talking about things that are written. I'll give you another example. In John's Gospel, in chapter 21, we have a story all about the legend that the beloved disciple would not die before Jesus returned. And John's Gospel ends with this story. And the narrator tries to explain that Jesus had not, in fact, said that the beloved disciple would stay alive until Jesus returned. He just said, what if that was the case? So the narrator in the text corrects what has been rumored, what have been heard. So the oral tradition was actually wrong. It was something that needed to be corrected. And what John's Gospel, in the same context, talks about is books. He ends the Gospel by talking about the books that could be written, drawing specific attention to this particular book. So I really think sometimes, as New Testament scholars, we need to reacquaint ourselves with the joy of literature. I'm sitting here outside of Exeter College Library where I immerse myself in books. Maybe that's why I prefer books to vague talk about oral tradition.